Where to start? I'm so excited for this video. I'm excited for a lot of reasons. I'm excited because I finally trust myself about this whole thing and know that my gut instinct to make this series was right and worth it. The introduction to this video will be so short, but I just want to thank you because I have continued to receive so much just love and kindness and appreciation for putting myself out there and for making this, somewhat vulnerable series documenting the experience and what goes into it and what recovery is like and all of that. It has been a little bit weird to put myself out there in that way, but I trusted it would find the right people, and I believe that it has, and I'm just excited for that to continue happening. Things for you to know. I have had 2 breast reductions in the last year, well, just over a year now, because I'm 7 months since my second reduction, which was 6 months after my first. Things I'm going to talk about in this video. It will be focused on the recovery side of the experience. I've made videos on preparing and surgery day and what to have, what to expect. I've done it all. And so if you're looking for any of that, please just go find those videos. I will say, if you have any questions that you feel like I would be able to answer, don't hesitate. Message me on Instagram, comment here. Instagram I get back to way faster than the comments on YouTube. And I mean that. So I want to say I still mean that, and I'll still say that, but I've put out kind of so much information at this point, and there thankfully and happily have been a lot of messages and questions. It's just if there's like a video that answers all of those questions and you just haven't seen it yet, it would be so much easier for everybody if you watched it. But I love having those conversations, so if you end up watching it and then you still have another question or you just want to talk about it, fantastic. Love that. This video will be focused on the recovery and being recovered part of this experience. There was something else. Oh, okay. People have been asking if I am still going to do my body transformation. I'd thrown out that I had an idea to do either a series or one kind of comprehensive video over the body transformation that I was going through, and I knew, and still know, will continue for a while. So yes is the answer. It's still in the works. I've been documenting things, pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff, but I don't want to put out, I'm all for people sharing whatever they want to share. But for me and what I want to put out there, I don't want to put out something that's like another fad diet or like a quick fix or anything like in that universe of thought. So what I'm doing for myself and what I want to communicate and give you, should you end up seeing it, is a video with the nitty-gritty keys to how I've actually managed to change my mindset to be living from a place of wellness, if you've heard that phrase, instead of for wellness, where you're going to the gym because you have to, versus living from a place where you're really enjoying doing the good things for yourself. It's self-care and self-love, and it's a whole thing. So anyways, it's important to me. I've struggled with body image stuff in the past. I'm finally at a point where I'm so happy with me in all that I am. So the last thing I want to do is to put out something that's going to make somebody else want to obsessively work out or super limit what they're eating. That's not what I'm doing, and that's not what I'm going to end up telling you in the future. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? I'm not ready to make that video yet, but it will be made when it's ready to exist. So much of that is going to get cut out. I was just rambling for way too long. In this video, I'm going to be showing you my scar transformation, what they currently look like. I wore this shirt on purpose because I feel like in all the other videos, I'm not really wearing stuff that shows, and it's what the entire video is about. So here's that. I will be showing you a montage. Let's just play that now, shall we? This is what I looked like. Let me just create some space. This is what I looked like before. I was a 32, I don't even remember anymore. It was 32J, 34I, or the reverse of that. Huge. My boobs were literally down to my belly button. So my belly button isn't even showing in this. My belly button is here. And my boobs in these pictures, you can see, if you're still on that side of this process, I'm so sorry. The wait feels like a long time, but once you get to the other side and you start recovering, time speeds back up, like life. It's so worth it. I wish you all the best of luck. This is my old bra. There's always that one bra, right? The one that you wear like the most often. Not the cute ones. So this is that old one for me. Okay, so concerning this bra, right? It is a 34 triple D. That was never the right size for me. I had under boob, over boob, side boob, and now you can see that none of that exists anymore. The opposite, I have gappage everywhere. Fantastic. This is my new everyday bra. It needs to be washed. Don't judge me. It is a 32D, 34D? 34D. Okay, so 34D is my perfect fit now. I don't know if I can say like on the muscly side. I'm on the muscly side. I've got muscles, nerves. So I also have like pec size under here. The actual boobs themselves probably would be like a C if I lost all the muscle that I have, but with it I fill out this D cup perfectly. I love that. I love the size that I am now. I think it's perfect for me. I think I look proportional. They're perky because when you get a breast reduction, it's also a lift, which is a question I get a lot. You could get a lift without a reduction, but if you get a reduction, there will be a lift, is kind of how that works. Oh, 2 surgeries, 3 surgical bras. I cannot honestly say which one went to where, so when I'm editing, I'm gonna have to just like match up the whichever surgery it was. You'll be seeing that now. There's those. And then next, because this is another question I get a lot, we all know everybody involved in this, well, it's bold to say everyone. I'm guessing that most of you can relate to wishing you could wear a bralette or being really excited that you finally can. I'm just through like, I love it. I love having small boobs. Are these small? Can I say they're small? I don't even know. Smaller. I like having small. I like not having gigantic boobs. Okay, so this one, it's by Anemone, like a sea anemone. Anemone. It is size medium large. I've had this since before any of my surgeries, and I used to wear it in a way that literally just sat on top of my cleavage, so that the entire length of the front of the bralette basically just ran along the butt crack that was my cleavage. And this is what it looks like on me now, after my 2 reductions. As soon as I say that, I know that anybody who hasn't seen my other videos or talked to me wants to know why I had 2 reductions, especially why I had them back to back. Well, let me just answer again so that you don't have to go hunt for the information. I was originally a J, like I said, really, really big. The way that they've explained this to me, because of course, I'm not the surgeon, I'm not the expert, I am going to school for nursing, I've had some anatomy classes and all of that, so I have a baseline of understanding, but this is me communicating what I've been told, okay? The more they take out, the more intense healing is. The more they take out, the more trauma your body experiences, like physical trauma. The more trauma, the more intense the surgery, the more chance for complications, and less of a likeliness that you'll regain full sensation or that you'll be able to breastfeed. I believe those are all the main bullet points. So, my understanding is that if you go to a private practice and you were to say, regardless of if I want to have kids in the future or how old I am or anything, like you go to a private practice person and you're like, I want to be a B cup from a J. Maybe they'll do that. But from what I have heard, read, and discovered through my own experience is that when it's through insurance, whoever your surgical team is will have guidelines that they have to stay within. They have to both take enough out to warrant giving the surgery, but they cannot take so much that it puts you into a risk zone. Take that as you will. that is a question, and I'll get to that when I get to the questions on Instagram. I'll get there. But that is a question that you should ask when you are going through this process. How much can you realistically say that you will take? Like, so that you're asking what that, like what those parameters are. And then specifically with me, that meant that after my first reduction, where they took out, I believe it was 400 and... Okay, so initially, my first reduction, you said they took about 600?
425 grams per breast on the first reduction. And then today, Dr. Wong said that they were able to reduce each breast by another 200 grams.
So he said you're basically at hopefully a C cup when all the swelling goes down.
Really?
To their best estimates, that's what it's supposed to be.
They asked all the females in the room, and they said it was probably going to be a C.
And he said he often refers to the females for sizing issues and
because he doesn't wear bras. So all in all, it ended up being over 600 grams per side, and that was just too much per the guidelines of my insurance, everything. And also keep in mind that doesn't, like, that 600 for me doesn't translate directly across 600 for everyone. It's based on like your height, weight, I guess BMI, no matter how silly that is, or any of it. I'm saying that you have to find out based on your numbers what their guidelines will dictate. Hopefully that makes sense. I've said it as simply as possible. These bralettes, however, I don't think I had these until after my first surgery. It all blurs together now, so I can't say for absolutely positive. This one is free press. This one is free people. They're both size medium, and I'll show you what they look like now. Yes, we're getting up close and personal, and that is because I get questions specifically about like how much of the scars show in this like front angle, or wearing, say, a swimsuit or a bralette or whatever. I thought these would serve that dual purpose because it's kind of the same shape as a lot of swimsuits. Next and last for the bralettes is by also Free People. I love Free People. Free People, if you ever want to just like sponsor me or work with me or team up on something, I love style and fashion and design and art. So like, I'm your girl, hit me up. This is one of their bralettes. I have them in multiple colors, probably like 7 colors, because I think that they're so cute. This is in a size small, and I did not get this until after my second surgery because a small wouldn't, it might have fit me after the second one, I don't know. But I got all of these after my second surgery. That's what this looks like now. And then here is a halter top by Earthbound. Oh yeah, this was from a cute little, I don't know, you can look up the brand if you want to. But yeah, a little halter top, and I can wear it braless, and it fits, and it's so freeing. If you're on this side of surgery, you know. If you're on the other side waiting for it to happen, oof, I'm sending you virtual patience. Hang in there. Okay, and then something like this is something that, well, let's talk about it. I could have fit into this even before my first surgery. I could have fit into it, but my butt crack cleavage would have started somewhere up here, and they would have probably just been like sitting in there. Like I wouldn't have felt comfortable. I wouldn't have felt like I looked nice. I would have felt very exposed. Just not good. And now, although I could shorten these straps a little bit, this is what it looks like. I'm happy about it. This is by True & Co. I think I just said that, and it is the most perfect thing I found for recovery. Like, you have to wear your surgical bra, obviously, for the first either few weeks or however many weeks, depending on what your doctor has instructed you to do. But once you get out of that zone and you're ready to wear basically anything else, like you're done with the surgical bra, you don't need to wear it anymore, you don't want to wear it anymore, but it's kind of like, what can I wear next? Because even if you're okayed to wear underwire, for me and for many ladies I've talked to, it kind of seems a little scary almost. Even when your incisions are closed and you can tell that they're closed. Like, I've had so many conversations about this at this point. It feels kind of like a melting pot of all of our experiences that I'm pulling from, not just from mine. So I'm going to stop repeating myself on that, but just know when I'm explaining these things, I am giving you my opinion, experience, and all of that, but I'm also throwing in more. So underwire can seem a little daunting or scary because you know that there's going to be some kind of direct pressure on this area that has been, you know, you've been babying it and being really careful and stuff. And so this to me is the perfect in between. It does not have an actual wire in here, but it's like fabric folded, sewn and all that in such a way that it creates structure and support and the feeling of lift. Not anything too drastic though. It's super soft, super stretchy, super comfortable. You forget you're wearing it, or at least I can. I loved this for like wearing daily, but it was also perfect for sleeping. I can't say enough good things about this. If you're looking for what I've just described, here it is. If I haven't mentioned this yet, my measurements are below if you need or want a comparison for like body type stuff. It can be very helpful, so I'll drop that below. Okay, to the messages. I posted on Instagram a few hours ago saying if you have any questions or suggestions as for what to include in this video, to send them my way. And then at the end of all of that, if there's anything I feel that's been left out, I'll include it. If not, then we'll get to wrap up. But here we go. What are some things you would have done differently? Break down some of the questions for your pre-op appointment. I have mine in 2 weeks. I want to know what questions to ask. Okay, so I did do this differently. My second surgery, I didn't mind the resting instructions well enough the first time around. I was very stubborn and just started doing too much too quick. I was lucky in that I didn't have any stitches come apart or any complications, but when you push it too much, too soon, you're not only increasing the risk that you could have like actual complications, but you're prolonging the healing experience, which is something I didn't understand until, I don't know, I guess the third time it was explained to me, because I was just literally just being stubborn. I had that mentality that was like, I'm tough, pain doesn't bother me, like I'm bored laying in bed, I don't need to. And finally it clicked that it's really not about how tough you are or whether or not you can handle the pain or anything like that. It's your body needs that resting period. You need to give it time in stillness and rest. Find out realistically what they have to take out, if there are any guidelines like I was talking about, if they're like via insurance or the hospital or like wherever it is. Like, just find out what their guidelines say is the appropriate or allowed safe amount for them to remove, and then that way you'll at least have like a realistic point of expectation to then communicate about, so that you can, that's just, I think, ask what those parameters are. It's a good entry point to find out where realistic expectations lie. So let me just rattle off the questions that I had going into mine. I wanted to know at what point what prescriptions I was going to be getting, when did I need to get them, if I needed to get my own surgical bra or if it would be provided to me, and when will surgery time be confirmed, what time range can you expect the surgery can take. You shouldn't and don't say like exactly how long will this take, because it's just not a realistic question. It's more of like it could take in between like 2 and 5 hours. But so ask them what they expect with their team and their setup. It's a good thing to know, especially for the people who are going to be helping you on surgery day. What else? Oh, okay, so something to clear up, because I have found that it varies a lot from person to person and doctor to doctor, is their instructions, what they want you to do, how they want you to care for your incisions and everything. post-surgery. My surgeon gave me specific instructions to just not touch them directly at all. I didn't need to wash them directly. I didn't need to take the tape off. I needed to let it fall off. I didn't need to wash them. I could let the water hit them. Like a very passive approach where the tape came off naturally, and I, to this day, still haven't used any scar creams or anything like that. On that note, if you have any recommendations on scar creams or treatments, I'm curious. So drop that below if you have anything. Yeah, so I still haven't used any creams. They didn't tell me to, they didn't suggest it. He said that he personally and professionally didn't see them as being very beneficial, and that if scars really were a concern later down the road, that I would be better off seeking a treatment with like a dermatologist that involved, say, lasers, something that's actually going to like really do something to like break up the scarring. But yeah, so ask them about aftercare. Something else that differs kind of a lot from person to person is your recovery timeline, and that could have to do with whether or not you have any other conditions, your age, how in shape you are, if you have because if you're talking about when can I get back to daily activity, that also, another variable is what is your daily activity. So that's a conversation to have at your first appointment, your consultation, or before surgery day, of like, this is what my days typically include. How long until I can do those things? Because the standard timeline that you're given for the kind of experience in general is that for the first 4 weeks, you're supposed to avoid pretty much any activity, isn't it? I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks is like the soonest and the standard for when they say you can start like resuming normal activity again. But from everybody I've talked to, there's been a full range of experiences. Some of that is because people are stubborn like me and like want to get back to activity sooner. But instead of just depending on the internet and other people who are sharing their experiences, luckily, that's a good question to have with the people who are doing your surgery, to say, these specifically are the activities. What can you tell me as for what to limit or what I can get back into and when? Hopefully that made sense. Those are all the questions off the top of my head. I check below the video because if there's anything that I end up like leaving out or I need to clarify, it'll either be on the screen or down there. So one says, yes, please do an update, then meaning to get one. Worried about nipple sensation? Okay, and I had just seen one that was about... Okay, next question is, did you lose sensation anywhere after surgery, and how long did it take to come back if it did? I already replied to this, so I'm going to respond, or I'm just going to read my response, because that's easier. I said, I'll answer in the video, but because it won't be out for a week or so, I wanted to answer her now. I did lose sensation immediately after surgery, but that's to be expected. I have more sensation now than I ever did before, in a good way. When the sensation started coming back, and this was the same for both surgeries, both recovery processes, it was pretty uncomfortable, like prolonged zaps. Somewhat alarming, and I'd find myself holding the area until it passed. That faded as nerves recovered, and now my nipples are responsive and fully sensational. Is that the proper way to say that? As well as the rest of the boob surface area. It's really funny trying to articulate this stuff. From what I've read and been told, it was much more common to lose sensation when the method used for surgery involved completely removing the nipple and then reattaching it. That method isn't common anymore, from what I understand, so sensation returning is much more common or expected now. My surgeon said they simply can't guarantee this, so they let you know of the possibility of lost feeling or sensation. Not a question. Pre-size and size now. Thank you so much, she's so sweet. Okay. How long did you wear your surgical bra for? Do you still wear a bra consistently? So my response was, just looked through pictures to see for sure, and I wore my surgical bra for 3 weeks before I tried on anything else, and then mostly wore the surgical bra for the following 2 weeks, but tried on a couple bralettes here and there. So both surgeries waited about 3 weeks of only wearing the surgical bras, and then I think they say you're supposed to wait until 4 weeks to like wear anything else. Again, that's information that varies from surgical team to surgical team, location to location. Ask yours, but this is this is what I have to offer you. She said, okay, good to know. I was given the okay by my surgeon to wear anything that makes me comfortable once I hit the 8-week mark, which was last week. I'm super nervous to try anything out because I don't want my boobs to sag. Relatable. You just have to do what feels comfortable, and then as long as you're generally following the guidelines given and then doing what you need to feel comfortable, there's not really more for me to weigh in on that. But I waited 3 weeks just wearing the surgical bra, and then here and there I started either spending a little time braless, like if I was washing the surgical bra, just seeing what that felt like for a little while. In that early kind of through the thick of recovery, but your incisions are still healing, if you go without, they will get sore. So don't take this as me saying that like at 3 weeks I felt great and healed with nothing on. That's not the case. I don't know. I just know that there were times that I spent braless. Okay, I'm moving on. Pics of the scars. I want to see the progress. Have they changed shape? Are they the same size, or is one bigger than the other? So I took videos this morning. Now I guess is the proper time to show you of, I'll just let them play. So this is what they look like currently. I'll throw up a couple pictures on the screen of them throughout the process. You can see the dates. So you can just like digest this for a second. I am not bothered by the scars at all, actually. That's a very personal thing. I can't tell you how you'll feel about yours. I hope that if you do have the surgery and then therefore have similar scars, that you embrace them. I don't know. Like, why be mad at them? The shape, generally, I would say directly after surgery and when you're still have all of the swelling, you're gonna have more of like a centered bulk that is your boob is going to be more kind of hovering up here in it's just all hanging out in one place. Don't know how to explain that. And then as they heal, it kind of drops back into its natural territory of hanging like a boob. So in that sense, yes, they have changed shape. They've gone from looking like fresh out of surgery and full and almost fake to just like natural looking D-cup boobs. And I think they're pretty much the same size now. Like I said when I was talking about how much was taken from each one in both surgeries, it was like 25 or 50 cc's more from my left in order to try to balance them out, because one was a little bit bigger, as they are with all of us, or like most of us. So yeah, so now they're either the same size or close enough that I can't tell the difference. In this conversation, she said, so these are my questions. My doctor said I'll never feel my breasts again. Is that true, or does it just take some time for the feeling to come back? How bad is the scarring? How long before you could do things like normal? And last, do you regret anything? So these are kind of the main questions I get, like, and the most often too. I'm still just going through to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So you've seen how bad the scarring is. The scarring varies from person to person. If you are a person who scars easily or tends to get really dark scars, it's gonna be probably the same on this tissue or area of your body. I do take Halo supplement, the Hair, Skin, Nails Halo Beauty supplement. Is that like the right word order? By Tati Westbrook. And my skin has improved, like in general, while I've been taking that. So I don't know how much that's had an effect on my scarring or if it has at all. But because I haven't been using any creams, I do try to eat well and stay hydrated and generally just take good care of myself. And then that supplement, and that's all I've done for my skin. But yeah, people have different experiences and scar to different degrees. I can give you an example by showing you what mine look like, but that doesn't mean that everybody's going to look the same. On the note of scarring, keloids exist. You can look up what they are. I don't know exactly how common they are, because I don't think that there's like, anybody's out there compiling information from everybody who goes through the surgery, and then like how many, like that just doesn't exist. So there's not really a way to say how common they are, but out of the many conversations I've had, it doesn't seem like they're very common, but you should still know that it's a possibility. And it's just it's like scar tissue, I believe, that kind of bulks up along a scar, well, like as part of a scar. Yeah, I'm not an expert on those at all because I haven't dealt with them, but they exist, and if you feel the need to know more, then look it up. Do I regret anything? Not at all. Not a tiny little bit. I used to say, or have said, that the only thing I regretted was not doing it sooner, but like in all reality, I did it at the perfect time for me, and I think I appreciate it that much more now because I did wait for so long and wanted it for so long. Yeah. I don't regret it. I'm so happy. Okay, seeing as how this video is already going to be long as heck, and I'm going to have a lot to edit and try to, like, you know, cinch it down, I'm going to stop it there. I think I've talked about all the, like, main, most important and most, like, common, the most repeated questions that I get. So this is 7 months after my... Let me count it out. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 7 months after my second breast reduction from a J to a D. There are lots of videos on my channel about this, specific videos for preparing the day of surgery and different time frames of recovery. So if you're still curious, or if you're still craving more breast reduction content, there's plenty. I'll link the playlist. It'll be there. I don't know. I think I need to eat. I'm getting really sidetracked. Okay, seeing as how this video is already way longer than I intended to make it. I mean, it's the raw footage, but like I was trying to keep short and it's not. So I'm gonna stop it there. I think I've talked about all of the things that I was planning on and covered the questions that were sent my way today and most often. If you're still craving more breast reduction content, there's plenty on my channel. Please watch the other videos if you haven't already, especially if you do have any questions that this video didn't answer. There are likely answers in the other videos. If you've done that and you still have questions, message me. If you just feel like chatting about the experience, message me, comment below. There's a whole community of women that have gone through this, that have, you know, followed this channel and are down there in the comment section. So that's really cool. And subscribe if you are into style and fashion, because more of that content will be headed into my channel. And if you want to see my body transformation, how I've done it, and everything that follows in that journey, I don't know when that will be out, but yeah, if you want to be there for it, subscribe. Subscribe.